years old, my parents found out that I had cystic fibrosis. My name is Jim O'Connell. I was born May 23rd, 1982. I was born to a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old, and I was given a second chance at life by being adopted by a family, a mother and a father who already had 2 children of their own. They were grateful and blessed, as they would say, to have me, and I was more than grateful and blessed as the years progressed to realize how important they were to me and that they are to me. And so when my parents found out that at 3 years old that I had a terminal illness, and when they found out the details concerning cystic fibrosis, they were overwhelmed and distraught. Part of cystic fibrosis is our pancreatic issues because the pancreas ducts become sticky and thick with mucus. They cause issues for us. So part of that is we deal with sugar issues, just like any diabetic does. If I do feel low, and I know I'm going low, I take sugar tablets with me everywhere I go. And these will help to quickly release glucose into my system. I also do take pain medication. I am accountable and responsible with it. One of the greatest epidemics that we have in our culture right now is narcotic and opiate addiction. For people like me who deal with chronic pain, it is helpful, especially in a low dose like this. If I were to take a higher dose, I might find more comfort, but it could also be very potentially dangerous to become fully addicted. I have dealt with addiction issues in the past, so it's very important for me to not only be accountable to friends and people I trust, but to also be mindful that sometimes I just have to wait out the pain. These are called nortriptyline. Another issue that I deal with is I have what are called hemiplegic migraines because of certain issues with my blood vessels, especially in my neck and in my head. I deal with moments where I will literally become paralyzed for a good minute. Then I start to get my feeling back. At first, I thought I was going to die. I actually screamed out to the Lord to please not let me die like that, paralyzed, alone, and locked in the house. But thank God I'm still here, and I know what they are now. So I can sit down when I feel them coming on and relax and do my best to ride it out. Since I've been taking nortriptyline, I had not had any more of those issues. So it's been about a year now, and I'm very grateful for that. They were very scary. They're very rare, but in my situation, the reason that I have them is because of side effects from cystic fibrosis. Another antibiotic that I take in an emergency situation when I think I'm about to go to the hospital, but maybe a regimen of antibiotics will help, Levaquin. It's very strong. It can cause tendon issues. You can pull tendons, especially your Achilles heel. So I have to be careful working out on these. I also have to be careful how much sun and UV exposure I get on medications like these. These are my daily vitamin intake, fish oil, which is good for everybody, vitamin A and E, and especially A, D, E, and K together. I really have to double up and triple up on these vitamins because part of our cystic fibrosis means that we don't digest fat properly, and fat-soluble vitamins pass through us more easily. This is medical cannabis. There is a CBD to THC ratio. I take once or twice a day, very small dose, a microdose they call it, because I just don't believe in abusing any form of medication, even if it's legal cannabis. This every day is 500 billion, 50 billion fortified daily probiotic pills. Because of all the antibiotics that I take, it's very important to restore the good flora in my gut, and that's what also helps my immune system. Most of your immune system is triggered from your bowels, so it's very important to make sure you have good bacteria to fight the bad bacteria. This is an antibiotic I take 3 times a week. For most of you, you probably only take it a handful of times in your life. When you get sick with bronchitis, cold, flu that settles into your chest and becomes any of those things, pneumonia, it's called azithromycin. Many of you know it as Z-Pak. And if I feel like I'm in a situation where I could get sick, choir concerts or airplanes, these are very important to take. These are airborne, and they have a lot of vitamin C and zinc to help give you a boost to your immune system. Because of all the antibiotics that I take, I also can get candida in the mouth, and that's an issue where you have too much yeast and not enough good bacteria on your mucous membranes. So these are just lozenges I take in case of an issue with candida or thrush. For many years, my mother would tell me that I need to live long enough and take care of myself so that I can see the day when we have a cure for CF. We do not have a cure at this time, but medications have been developed to actually go to the cellular level in our bodies and correct the sodium channel, which is the founding problem, the origin of the issues of cystic fibrosis. Our sodium channels in our organs, especially those that are heavy in mucous membranes, stomach, pancreas, liver, and the lungs, we do not process the sodium channel through the cell like normal people do. And that is what keeps your mucous membranes clean. So it literally is a salt disease, a lack of salt disease, and that's because of what is happening with the sodium in the cells. If I were only able to take one of these medications, this would be the most important medication to take. This helps to significantly slow the progressed damage that is caused by CF. So I'm on a new batch, and so I have to take one in the morning and one in the evening, and they come quite easy for us because they're nice and colorful, morning and evening, and there's 14, 2 for each day. So as long as I take one in the morning, one in the evening with food that is heavy in fat, this has made all the difference in my health in the last 2 years. I wouldn't say that I feel like a normal person, but I definitely can say many of the issues that I dealt with on a daily basis that were almost unbearable have become much more tolerable. Bacteria love dark, hot, wet places, and the lungs, because they fill up with so much mucus, provide a good environment for bacteria to thrive. I do nebulized antibiotics, and I alternate them. So one of them is called tobramycin, and I do this twice a day, every other month. And on the months that I do not use tobramycin, I use cholistomethate, and this helps for the bacteria to become confused. This is the newest addition to my arsenal to take care of myself. This is a AffloVest tubeless wireless vest, and strap it on, and it mimics the function of percussion therapy. Back in the old days, my parents used to have to turn me upside down and cup their hands and pound on me. It was a good workout for them and for me too, but this is more efficient, and I do 30 minutes twice a day, even sometimes 3 times a day, and it just vibrates me, and I can sit and read video games, go for a ride, go to the gym and get on the bike. And doing this and exercise at the same time is even more efficient and more productive to get that mucus up and out of our lungs. When I was 8 years old, the doctor felt that it was time for my parents and me to be in a room together and for me to have the disease explained to me and to have my prognosis explained to me. A nurse took me into the office with my parents and told me that it would be very unlikely that I would graduate high school. I felt that my future was over with. I don't think children really think too hard about a future. So not only was I confronted with not having a future, I was also forced to imagine a future, and it was very overwhelming. I cried all the way home. I was inconsolable. And I think for the next several years as an elementary school student and a junior high school student and high school student, I just kind of survived emotionally, mentally, spiritually. My parents and I went to church. My family was Presbyterian, and we went to church, and that is where church was left. I blamed God many times, in many moments, for having this disease. I thought it was unfair. I cried a lot. I had moments where I just couldn't think of anything else. I had a hard time fitting in with children my age because I was forced to grow up fast, mentally. There were times as a child when I was treated poorly by other students. I was beat up, picked on. Many other students knew that I was sick because I coughed a lot. I was out of school quite a bit. I was visiting the nurse's office every few days. I remember a child telling me, "Your parents didn't love you because you were adopted, and that means your parents gave you up." And I felt that that was because of my illness, even though my illness was not discovered until I was 3 years old. There came a point in my life in high school when I was introduced to chemicals of all different kinds. When I drank for the first time with friends, I felt free. I felt all of my cares were taken away. I wasn't worried, I wasn't scared. I felt energetic. I felt like I had personality and that people liked to be around me. I ruined many relationships, friendships. There are people, even to this day, who shudder at the mention of my name and who, when thinking of me, do not have very good memories. My problems developed to the point where I was arrested. And that time changed everything for me. I had no substance to turn to. I had no escape. I had nothing to do but to think about what I have done and what I had to look forward to in life, who I wanted to be, who I did not want to be. Today I can't wait to get up in the morning. I am diligent about my treatments. I am diligent about being in touch with my doctor. I listen to my body. I get rest when I need it. I don't put things in my body that are harmful for me. Anything that I put in my body is only to help me and to strengthen me and to sustain me. I can drive around this city now and areas around here, and I don't look at that corner bar as that place where I used to get that, or I don't look at that spot as the place where I got caught for the DUI. Now I see people and I look around here and I see an opportunity to be who God created me to be for these people, for this city, for any city, for the world. And I can't do a lot, But when I look around places like this and I see all the houses and apartments and people walking around, and I see so many people out there trying to do something positive for the world, it becomes easier to be addicted to positivity than the negativity I was used to. A friend that I met in recovery meetings introduced me to his church recovery program. And because I'm a musician, I was invited to play music for that program. The pastor met me and was very interested in seeing if I would be interested in being a worship leader at that church. I was honored that somebody would take a chance on me at that point in my life when I was just coming out of so many issues and problems, and I accepted.
Because when you're up front, you're a bit tentative, and yet people are waiting for you to pull them out. And when, like last Sunday is a perfect example, when you are just being you, just being carefree, confident you, people step into a set of worship that they're not used to. And it is this comfortable feeling of, I'm here and you're leading me to this cross. And it always comes out when you stop playing and they all start singing. And it is this sense that they are now worshiping and you are literally pointing to the cross up there. And so when we sit in this room, I really enjoy it, because what happens is I know you've almost removed yourself and they are literally at the foot of the cross.
So right here, right now, while the sun is shining down, I wanna live like there's no tomorrow, love, like I'm on borrowed time. It's good to be alive. Yeah. Yeah.
That God is doing something of a miracle every time you stand up to sing. And that stand up to sing is you're working on 30% or less in lung capacity some days. And that voice of yours resonates in their hearts. And that can only be described as a Holy Spirit moment for those people who know that. So when you share your disability with those folks, it creates a sense of not necessarily pity, but a sense of awe in the King. And so in that, you are actually reflecting back to God the fact that you struggle, you're human, you're dealing with something severe, but yet you're able to worship in the middle of that. And so for those people who are suffering out in the audience, you know, on a regular basis, there's somebody dealing with cancer, there's somebody dealing with a marriage thing, there's somebody dealing with an addiction, there's somebody dealing with a work issue, there's somebody dealing with finances. All of that's going on out there, but when they come in here as a worship leader, what you're giving them is hope. Well, if God will work through his CF, he will absolutely work in my situation.
Right here, right now, this is the song I'm singing out. I want to live like there's no tomorrow, love, like I'm on borrowed time. It's good to be alive. There's no tomorrow, love, like I'm on borrowed time. Oh, it's good to be alive. I won't take it for granted. I won't waste another second. All I want to give you a life to say thank you. I wanna live like there's no tomorrow, love, like I'm on borrowed time. It's good to be, oh, it's good to be alive. I wanna give like there's Snow